In this video, we introduced co-designed solutions to tackle a common challenge in urban wastewater treatment, dewatering. In many cities in low and middle income countries like Freetown, the capital of Sierra Leone, 60 to 90% of wastewater is stored on site. It's later collected and transported by truck for treatment. Due to limited space in cities, wastewater treatment technologies must be compact and space efficient. But low-footprint technologies are often not locally available and must be imported. Additionally, recovering useful resources from wastewater can help offset costs. In order to address this need, Freetown City Council, the NGO Goal, and Eawag work together to design and pilot low-footprint wastewater treatment technologies in Kingtom, Sierra Leone's first fecal sludge treatment plant. One result of this collaboration is a manually operated dewatering press. It is a space-saving alternative to passive, high-footprint dewatering technologies, such as settling thickening tanks. The press is designed for fecal sludge treatment plants and requires minimal external power to operate. Pa Casa, owner of Casas Enterprises and manufacturer of the press, said when you fabricate such a technology, you need to think about how these things are going to work together. The press was built with local workshops in Freetown. Several designs were tested to ensure it worked well and reliably. Producing the press locally makes it easier to adapt, maintain, and repair. It also reduces reliance on international supply chains and creates jobs. Tambaja Sinha, plant manager at Kingtom FSTP, explained, "The challenge we had was most things were not available within Sierra Leone. Based on my idea and Pa Casa's, we modified the design to fit the materials that can be attained locally in Sierra Leone." The system includes a flocculation tank and hydraulic press. The liquid removed during pressing is piped on for further treatment, which is needed to fully treat the wastewater. Jibril Muhammad Kamara and Jessica Moatu Yaja, site wash technicians at Kingtom FSTP, noted, "After each trial, we reflected about how we can improve the press in order to make it functional." With this design process, we gained a lot of practical knowledge that added to our theoretical learnings from the university. Let's explore how it works. First, wastewater is pumped into the tank. A conditioner, in this case a polymer, is added while the liquid is stirred. This causes small particles to stick together to larger flocks, allowing the press to work effectively. This process is known as flocculation. Choosing the right amount of conditioner is challenging, as the characteristics of wastewater can change with every truck arriving at treatment. To solve this, the team calibrated a turbidity sensor to help estimate how much conditioner is needed. Additionally, they investigated local production of chitosan from shrimp shells, a potential alternative to imported synthetic polymer conditioners. After flocculation, the wastewater is fed into the press. Using a hydraulic jack, the press piston is moved down to press the flocculated wastewater through the filter mesh at the bottom. The hydraulic jack can also be moved up to lift the upper part of the press. Finally, the basket containing the compacted solids can be removed from the press and transported to further treatment for resource recovery. Joseph Kamara, research supervisor, resource recovery, explained, "We can use the solids from the press to make compost or solid fuels such as briquettes." Together, these innovations demonstrate the potential of locally manufactured, low-footprint technologies in urban sanitation. Babinti Kamara, head of fecal sludge management at Freetown City Council, stated, "As we are going along, we get there in managing wastewater. The sanitation problem will come to an end in Freetown." Do you want to learn more about building a manually operated hydraulic press, making chitosan, or calibrating a turbidity sensor for dosing conditioners? Take a look at our guidance on the technological, environmental, and financial aspects of small footprint dewatering technologies for non-sewered sanitation.